guys.
All right, be interesting to see who has that first, what the pre-bans are going to look like. TopaV has opted to actually take first pick, so look to see that. Probably see Thomas is going to ban out the Hathor pre-ban first because it's such an impressive unit. TopaV likely can run with the Gani Yunhong combo. There's going to be a lot of balancing between pre-banning Yunhong, pre-banning Hathor, or maybe just Gani, which is oftentimes the engine. Those are what the pre-bans are going to revolve around. I don't really see another option from C. Thomas, and of course TopaV is just going to take the wedge out 2 out of 3 times if we go to a third match, if this is somehow not a 2-0. But I really think that, you know, in this one, TopaV has a lot of tools in his toolbox and is favored to win this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Hathor is definitely going to be the pre-ban coming out of Thomas.Sea. There's no way he can let something like that go through. He is going to be dealing with a Yunhong combination with a Gani or a Hathor.
And it's interesting that they're taking their full minute to pre-ban. I mean, maybe they know that this could be the end of the tournament, so they want to milk every last second of SWC that they could be in. So as expected, we see that Hathor pre-ban, we see that Wedgeette pre-ban. C. Thomas knowing that Hathor is very impressive, very strong unit. TopaV has first pick, so we'll see what TopaV goes with. Likely Sierra. There we go, Sierra, because knowing that C. Thomas does not have Gani, Hathor, or Vanessa's, taking that speed lead away means that C. Thomas will not have a speed lead for the remainder of this game.
Yep, I agree. Taking that CR was very, very important. Oh, we are going to be seeing a QB immensity. I mean, I was almost looking at a Katarina bulldozer kind of draft style. He takes it away. He's going to be bringing back the Fran and the Okeanos.
And one more thing I want to point out is Thomas.Sea is rocking a full 900 points here. We see a more than double point deficit. Both of them showing off fun monsters here, clearly enjoying their time. But then when we get down to business here, TopaV responding with very serious picks of the Yunhong Vigor. I wouldn't even be surprised if C. Thomas drops those RNG units. He may need RNG like that to win this matchup.
You may. We see the Mio, we see the Ataris. They were both showing it before. Curious what Thomas is going to be responding with after seeing a Vigor and Yunhong coming out of TopaV.
Interesting choice of the Molong and the Masha. I'm not exactly sure about this, but again, TopaV does not really have units to come in and reset off the bat. Hathor is gone here, so pretty good choice. Molong is a lot more effective in this situation because TopaV doesn't have an Oki because it's already taken. Hathor is gone, so a lot less control can go into the Molong. Molong's going to be a lot stronger.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious if Thomas.Sea can get that first turn here up against TopaV. Might be able to get his Molong on the line. TopaV wraps up his draft with an Ileana Gani, and Thomas.Sea is going to respond with a Diana.
Yeah, so Thomas.Sea here basically representing a draft of I need some procs to win. He's taking the Diana, taking a Molong that hopefully has some procs, taking the Masha, which may be on Violent. It can be either Violent or Swift. This one might be on Violent. So Thomas.Sea is really banking on some procs to be able to burst a unit down. TopaV going to the very steady, stable comp. Lots of rotation, lots of damage, lots of everything. So I like TopaV's draft, but again, anything can happen with Violent runes.
Ooh, Thomas does not ban out the speed lead or the unit that he can't protect himself just a little bit using that Fran against CR. Is going to be banning out the Yunhong. Diana getting pre-banned by Thomas.
And doing so to remove the stripper from TopaV's side. So TopaV Sierra needs to do a lot of auto attack damage, or else he may not be able to do enough damage.
Yep, that is correct. Speed leads for both teams. 24 for TopaV. Here we go, guys. Match number 1 between Thomas.Sea and TopaV. Ganymede with first turn. A little bit of poke damage coming towards Molong.
TopaV's actually in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to be eating a Molong third skill into a Masha second skill. So TopaV needs to get the anti-crit up and actually does need that to come into play. So C. Thomas with the somehow turn 2 team with an Oki actually doing a lot of work here.
Yep, TopaV, you can see where he's really trying to press that damage in the Molong, but the Fran's going to get immunity and attack buffs here, fully healing up that Molong.
Yeah, again, we're just going to see how much damage comes out from this Masha Molong combo and then having C. Thomas sustain. That's exactly the opener that he's going to need.
Yep, you can see Masha's looking to focus out this Ileana. Possible Reckless Assault might be going out here.
I think so too, and I think this Oki drops a skill 2 to add some damage onto Ileana. That's exactly what it does.
And the additional turn as well. A Violent Okeanos may be poking a little bit more damage. Really want to confirm that that Reckless Assault is going to be finishing off the Ileana. There's only one place to put this bomb, and that bomb's coming in Okeanos' direction.
That is exactly right. He's going to drop the bomb on Okeanos. Going to do a lot of damage here. Auto attack not doing as much damage as we typically see from Sierras.
Not at all. Reckless Assault goes out onto the Ileana. Thomas.Sea drops that Ileana.
Yeah, and unfortunately for TopaV, Thomas.Sea still has that full immunity. So TopaV really needs to come back, needs to do a lot of damage, and I don't know if those 3 units can take out a Masha, especially if the Masha can proc and do a lot of damage on the Ciara.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be finding out soon. We can see the heal coming out and the anti-crit from the Vigor. Molong looking a little low right now, but Fran can either cleanse the bomb or heal up this Molong.
And Vigor not using skill 3 on the Molong, not going for the kill here, allows that Molong to live, so C. Thomas looking to stabilize.
Yep, there's that shot coming towards Ciara. Once again, additional turn coming out of Masha, poking more damage on that Ciara. Nothing comes from that skill 2 on Molong.
But now C. Thomas does not have any immunity, so this is TopaV's chance to come back. He needs to drop the bomb and control that Fran in case it procs, but drops on Masha, which is perfectly fine as well.
Gets the double stun from the bombs on top of Okeanos and Masha. Ventilate back onto Ciara. Ciara's going to have bomb and detonate once again. You can see the poke damage going onto Molong from Ganymede. Vigor looking for a nice skill 3 on the Masha, looking to drop it off of the beast, and does so.
Yeah, so TopaV going for the Masha here, figuring that his team will be able to take out C. Thomas's team if he's able to take out Masha.
Ooh, no proc coming from Fran. Really needed that proc there. Vigor's able to finish off the Masha. Glancing be applied to Molong with an additional turn coming out. Seal of Magic onto the Fran, dumping attack bars. Bomb is coming out from Ciara onto the Okeanos, detonating that. Not looking good for Thomas.Sea with another additional turn from TopaV.
That's a giant proc from the Ganny. That attack bar dump basically swung the entire momentum. If I'm C. Thomas here, I'm thinking about my last match of SWC coming up right now.
Exactly. Ganymede with a little bit of poke damage might be dropping this Okeanos because it is built on Violent. No, with the Ventilate back onto Ciara.
Yeah, TopaV's just going more aggressive, dropping more bombs. This is pretty much over here.
So many additional turns coming out of TopaV. That is going to be it for Thomas.Sea. Just a lonely Fran. He's going to take this time to think about what he needs for next match.
Yeah, and somehow we have a weird icon that just popped up, but doesn't matter. Valid, invalid, this game is pretty much over here. We see 3 monsters. There is no way in this world this Fran can win. Even if you took the runes off of those 3 monsters, Fran would not be able to pull this up.
Exactly. Man, what went wrong? I feel like Thomas.Sea actually had a chance to maybe do something here, but TopaV did get a lot of violent procs.
I think that Ganymede, that proc there, dumping attack bars, basically swung the entire momentum. At the same time, TopaV, I called out the bomb incorrectly. TopaV actually dropped on the Masha, recognized that that was a source of RNG and damage. Once that Masha went down, Thomas.Sea didn't really have enough in his back pocket. Oki didn't really do enough, and ultimately wasn't able to out-sustain a Vigor there.
Yep, exactly. And TopaV taking that round 1 away from Thomas.Sea. Things are happening right now. We'll get through this shortly. Man, I think Thomas.Sea had that 27% chance to get the additional turn with that Fran as well. And Fran was not able to proc, and that maybe would have helped Thomas.Sea out a lot.
Exactly. So typically on the ladder, you'll want to play a little bit more, assuming that they proc and whatnot. So a bomb on the Fran typically is safer in the ladder. But of course, in a tournament setting, you definitely want to be... you definitely want to play a little bit more aggressive, and that's exactly what we saw. We're going into match 2 here. We're going to see the pre-bans on the Masha and on the Ganny. C. Thomas taking the Ciara first, as we expected. That's the unit they're fighting over, and TopaV responding with the trademark Fran and Yunhong.
Very safe draft already from TopaV. Thomas.Sea trying to get a little aggressive, having a speed lead under his belt, bringing out an Okeanos and Vigor.
Yeah, Okeanos and Vigor, very, very good choices here. And now TopaV does know that that Okeanos is on Violent, meaning that if TopaV wants to take that first turn initiative, he can do so. However, Fran is kind of a middle speed unit, kind of disrupts that portion. I could look to see a Hathor, definitely. Maybe a Daphnis if he wants to go aggressive and ban out the Vigor or the Okeanos. Or he could decide to even go with the speed lead like a Vanessa.
Yep, TopaV bringing in that Hathor and an Alucia coming out of TopaV. Not very aggressive, though.
Not aggressive at all, and actually kind of damage light, but at the same time, Yunhong does do a lot of damage. So if I was C. Thomas, I would be angling my draft to take a unit out early and abuse the fact that TopaV does not have a lot of damage. Same time, though, that Alucia does control C. Thomas a lot, and without immunity, it could be dangerous. The 2 win picks, or the 1 win pick and the 1 light pick, very good against Alucia here.
Yep, definitely is. TopaV with 1 last pick after seeing the Wadjet and Wind Druid coming out.
Interesting choices here. So C. Thomas is going with a very fast Wadjet. We know he runs that at plus 200 speed, and that's going to boost up that Terranese. It's going to do a lot of damage and give him a lot of turns over time. I really actually like C. Thomas's draft here. It's a lot of damage, a lot of threat over time. TopaV going with that speed lead at the end.
Yep, bringing out Vanessa to wrap up TopaV's draft. No immunity on the side of Thomas.Sea. I wonder how well that's going to work, showing that there's a Hathor and a Lucia on the other side of the field.
Actually, TopaV's draft looking quite scary because Yeonhong acts almost as a pseudo Gani, being able to reset cooldowns. That Hathor, that Lucia is going to be able to control a lot. So takes out that Yeonhong, removes that RNG, but at the same time, Lucia does so much here. The question is, does TopaV have enough burst to be able to take out that Sierra first with only a Vanessa? And we'll see if he's able to land that defense break.
Yep, or just deny the turns. We're going to find out, guys. 33 speed lead for TopaV, 24 speed lead for Thomas.Sea. Here we go, guys. We've got round 2. Can Thomas hold on to one more match, or can TopaV get the upset? That Jet not being willed up, possibly on a broken set for the speed, but the Hathor is going to be outspeeding here with that 33 lead. Hathor goes for a skill 2 onto the Okeanos and does not land that sleep.
Highly unlucky here, not getting that. And of course, TopaV running what looks to be a swift Hathor. So taking Thomas.Sea by surprise here. That Fran is reset, so TopaV is in a very, very bad position.
Yep, that is right. A lot of sustain for TopaV. Okeanos landing that reset onto the Fran, and we have a wild blow coming out onto the Hathor. Hathor did handle it pretty well, but there's going to be a bomb coming from this Ciara.
Yeah, and on the backswing here, TopaV is going to eat a full team stun from this Okeanos. So unless that Lucia can proc, he's in a lot of trouble.
Ooh, no proc coming out of Lucia. We're going to get a nice attack bar pushback attack break on to Ciara, but it looks like we get an additional turn here, looking to heal up that Lucia.
Definitely needs to heal up that Lucia. Needs to keep his team up as much health as he can because he's going to eat a full team stun here. Any proc from Ciara could be dangerous.
No, a defense break, but the additional turn coming out of TopaV, pummeling more damage into that Ciara.
Missing that defense break is huge because that Sierra could have been close to dead now, and it is not. However, at the same time, C. Thomas is going to sleep.
Yep, Swift Hathor finally coming into play, getting everybody asleep here, dumping some attack bars. Lucia possibly going to heal herself up. No, boosting up the Hathor.
So at this point here, TopaV just needs a cycle, needs to get onto the Sierra, needs to slowly do damage.
Additional turns coming for TopaV. He's able to get his attack buffs and immunity up with that Fran. Damage is going to be focused on the Sierra. He has to remove this unit.
Very tanky Sierra, though. It's eating a lot of hits here, and it's still at half health. But one thing you want to know is C. Thomas does not have any healing. So as the game goes on, these support units from Topa's side get to be a lot better here, and they're going to wear TopaV down.
Yep, Lucia able to get that first skill freeze onto the Ciara. No way, Rana Stones is coming out from that Okeanos. Okeanos with a nice little skill 1 onto that Vanessa.
Yeah, at this point, TopaV could throw a sleep onto the Oki, but it's still going to work that Sierra. Once Sierra goes down, C. Thomas does not have any more damage.
Hathor missing that sleep onto the Okeanos. Vanessa finally landing that defense break onto the CR, but we get an initial turn coming out from this Wind Druid.
Yeah, the Wind Druid does have to make a choice. Does he transform and keep that Sierra alive, or does he decide that he wants to revive it after the fact?
Yep, he might go for that Soul Protect, chooses not to, hoping for a stun onto the Hathor. Okeanos finally getting a Rain of Stones online, not able to stun up that Fran or Lucia.
And that reset going on Vanessa tells us that C. Thomas is looking for a kill, likely going to go after the Lucia really soon. Fran is oftentimes squishy, so the two of them are options. TopaV needs to find a way to keep them up.
That's right. Well, the possible cleanse coming out from this Lucia, may even healing itself up here. Maybe want to lock down a unit, and does choose to go for that skill 3 for the 2-turn sleep onto the Jet.
Interesting choice to go on the wedge at here, and the play's going on quite fast. That's a lot of damage coming off on that Sierra's auto attack.
That was a lot of damage coming out of that Sierra. Sierra is very, very well ruined. Bomb does land on the Vanessa, and you can see the Soul Protect coming out from that Fran. Ooh, bomb does detonate on the additional turn from Vanessa.
Yeah, and Sierra again has 2 turns on that auto revive, so that's a lot of virtual
Ooh,
HP.
The additional turn from Okeanos, able to drop that Lucia there.
Yeah, highly unlucky there, but at the same time, Fran is taunted up there, so C. Thomas looking very, very good here.
Looking very good. He's able to get that bomb onto Vanessa. Going to be detonating that here. If this drops Vanessa, it's going to be it for TopaV. And there you have it. Round 2 goes to Thomas.Sea.
Well drafted by Thomas.Sea there. TopaV kind of not taking enough damage on his first 4 picks, and that's exactly why he had such a hard time taking out Sierra. Not landing that defense break was huge, because had he landed that Sierra was going to go down. It would have gone down a lot sooner, and it didn't die at all. And that's the whole reason why that match went the way it was. I mean, when you only take 1 damage dealer in Vanessa there, you are relying on that one, on that defense break. And when that doesn't land, you really don't have a way to kill your opponent's units.
That is correct. Big resets from Okeanos as well. Very, very important unit on that field. He was able to get a couple lockdowns when he needed it. Able to get the additional turns from the violent Okeanos as well, finishing off that Lucia. Great plays from Thomas.Sea.
Great plays indeed, and actually, I mean, early on, he actually had a hard decision of whether or not to reset that Fran or reset that Hathor. Decided to go after Fran. and decided to eat the sleep there, which was probably calculated given the fact that he had Wedge At given him passive attack bar buff. But at the same time, again, had his Sierra taken the defense break, he would have lost there and been shown the door. But instead, we get to see a game 3. So very interesting to see how this will pan out. But, you know, interesting. At this point here, C. Thomas will have access to that Masha. And I believe TopaV does have a Masha, so maybe this is a unit to fight over. I think that they're first going to take away that Sierra. They're going to fight over that first. It's going to go very similar to how Game 1 went. But later on, we're going to see potentially a take of the Masha from TopaV.
Yep, definitely going to see a very similar pre-ban to that very first match. Hathor and Wadjet getting pre-banned out that first round. We're going to see if it repeats one more time. And there you have it, Hathor and Wadjet getting pre-banned in Game 3. TopaV with first pick here. Let's see if he takes that Ciara away from Thomas.Sea.
Definitely going to take that Ciara. The two of them have very well-runed Ciaras. You saw that auto attack doing 1400 damage. That allows you to get through even like an Ileana or something with immunity. So Ciara doesn't care if you have immunity because it does so much damage. C. Thomas responding with the Violent Oki and the Fran, as we saw in Game 1. TopaV not deviating at all, going very neutral picks. No one committing to heavy damage or heavy speed on either side of the draft yet. We see Yunhong and Vigor.
Yep, Yunhong, Vigor, very safe. Both players are drafting very fair right now. After seeing Yunhong, Vigor, let's see what direction Thomas.Sea is going to be taking this in.
Yeah, and Thomas.Sea doesn't really want to be put in a position where he needs to resist, so I anticipate him trying to think about some speed, or actually in this situation, going for turn 2. And we're going to see the Leo, and I'm not exactly sure about this Leo here, because both Sierra and Yunhong give attack bar, and when they do that into a Leo, generally Leo's a weak pick. So C. Thomas is already locking himself into potentially some sort of a Sierra Yunhong ban here. The Leo does deal very well against the Vigor, but again, I'm not sure exactly about this Leo pick here. Allows TopaV to be able to exploit this with some sort of control, or
maybe even a Verdi heal as well. We're not seeing a lot of mobility on Thomas.Sea's side of the field. If we do see a Verd, and we do see a Verd Masha coming out of TopaV.
So the Masha pick tells me that Leo is actually more likely the ban now, because Masha doesn't do a lot of damage into Leo. But at the same time, it's okay to leave the Leo in. It still does a lot of damage with defense break. So all bans are on the table. So that's how you know TopaV made a great draft. TopaV doesn't have immunity, so that Rika's a perfect last pick.
Exactly. So it looks like that last pick, Rika, is probably going to be the ban for TopaV.
I think Rika becomes a force ban here, but if you do so, do you really want to deal with a Violent Oki and a Leo? And I think you probably have to deal with it. I see C. Thomas banning out that Vertihile, understanding that his Rika is probably the force ban. So we're likely going to see that those first 4 units from TopaV versus the first 4 from C. Thomas.
Ooh, and Yunhong getting pre-banned. Banned by Thomas.Sea, which is crazy to see. You've got a Leo on the field, and that Verdi heal is just going to be cycling a lot of turns.
I mean, TopaV just has so much cycling, but you're going to see so much damage coming out of TopaV. I think this is going to be his ticket to the next round.
Well, here we go, guys. Round 3 between Thomas.Sea and TopaV. Leo with the first turn.
Leo always gets that first turn. Super fast unit is able to knock back this Sierra.
Yep, got that attack bar pushback on Ciara. Masha looking to get some massive damage onto the Leo. Maybe even a skill 2 coming from this Viga.
But again, doesn't do very much, because at the same time, Masha relies on that speed to make the damage goes higher.
That's right, but he did land that defense break, which is pretty important on top of that Leo.
But again, you don't really want to damage the Leo early, because if you get it low enough, you could eat a Torrent.
Exactly. Full stuns from the Rain of Stones coming out of Okeanos onto TopaV.
Yeah, and at this time, C. Thomas is really thinking about what he needs to take out once this Vertihile gets online. That's a lot of turns he's taking, so the goal here is to be able to take out a unit before this Verd takes over.
Ooh, we see the additional turns coming from that Ciara as well. Nice skill 1 onto that Fran. Fran took that very, very well. Reset comes out onto the Ciara to make sure those bombs are not going to be up next turn.
And no more
again, additional turns coming from Ciara. So many procs.
And no more anti-crit on Sierra, so this Wind Druid is going to do a ton of damage onto Sierra. So Sierra's going to be eating a lot of damage shortly.
Exactly. Nice defense break coming from that Vigor onto the Okeanos. May have a cleanse coming here, and we do. Fran cleanses out that defense break, no problem. And you can see some attack bars going to get pushed up with that Vertiheal bomb finally landing on the Okeanos. Damage focus is going to be on Okeanos as well. Might see a massive wild blow onto Ciara. Goes to that wild blow. Ciara does stay alive, but the additional turn comes out. Gets the stun on top of Ciara.
That's a giant stun. Not sure why he's attacking the Bird here. Should just go for the kill on the Sierra. That's a lot of greed. If this Vigor procs, that Sierra could be picked up, and that could be a big mistake coming out from C. Thomas.
It could be. You can see the focus right now is going to be on the Okeanos. Getting the additional turns coming from Verd. Verd's going to be pushing TopaV's whole team forward here.
That's a giant mistake from C. Thomas because now Sierra's alive. Should have taken out that Sierra because Sierra can dominate this match right now.
And that's where slowing down your play really matters. Thomas.Sea was very, very quick to make those decisions. He needed to take up that time, but he's able to finish off that CR anyways.
Able to take out that Sierra, and the Terranese is able to revive a unit, so this match is not over yet, but there's a lot of damage coming out.
Definitely not. You can see the focus is definitely on Fran. Viga getting that 3-turn defense break. And Verdiel not finishing off the Fran just yet, but Masha's going to be there to drop that Fran.
Yeah, here, and C. Thomas does need to play greedy, does need to go into that Vertihile and just ignore the fact that it can revenge because he is massively behind, does need to take those risks here.
Yep, unit of focus for TopaV right now is going to be that Wind Druid. Looking for a stun, gets the additional turn as well. Wild Blow comes out, Verdiel is still alive. No revenge is coming out of Verd.
So much luck coming out from C. Thomas' side, double proc back-to-back here, but TopaV with that anti-crit proc coming out. If he lands this defense break, that's going to be a lot of damage.
Really needs to get this defense break. Gets the 3-turn defense break on top of Tyrannies.
Gets that 3-turn defense break.
Oh, and there it is. He's paying for it. The revenge comes out from the Verd, but we get an additional turn from Leo. Verdiel funneling more damage on top of this defense-broken Tyrannies.
And again, this Masha is going to do a lot of damage, and as the game goes on, attack goes higher and higher, so look for TopaV to take out this Wind Druid right now.
Ooh, doesn't drop that Wind Druid yet. I think Vega is going to be supplying enough damage to drop this Wind Druid. Chooses to go after the Leo.
Interesting choice here. I think TopaV doesn't want that Wind Druid to then be able to go on its own turn in beast form, so decided not to kill it right away. Went for the greed move, but if everything is provoked, could be dangerous here and could be a mistake.
Ooh, there's the provoke sitting on top of that Vega. We see that second skill going out onto that Wind Druid. Drop of the Wind Druid here. Is Masha going to be enough to possibly drop this Fran? Chooses to go after the Wind Druid, dropping it here. The big heal comes out with the additional turn. Once again, Shred coming out onto the Fran. Fran's got 3-turn defense break.
Yeah, I mean, Vertihile is just taking over. It's taken so many turns. It's revenge proc, it's violent proc. It's done so much here. It's procced every single time. It's done so much here, and I think TopaV is just going to be able to take this one now.
Exactly. A lot of turns coming out of this Verdi heal as well, boosting up his team. The mobility of TopaV really coming in strong in this match. You can see Thomas.Sea just trying to drop that Verd. He knows it can revenge, but he is still going after it.
Yeah, but at this point here, that Leo is on Violent. You've seen it on Violent, so once this Fran goes down, there's no way for this Leo to take out a Masha. It's not happening.
That's right. There's that big skill too. TopaV drops the Fran. He has the sustain. He has everything. TopaV is going to be taking this 3rd round against Thomas.Sea.
Yeah, TopaV showing very, very good control of his draft. Drafting very well here, and of course, eliminating Thomas.Sea from the tournament.
Eliminating Thomas.Sea. There you have it. TopaV taking it in round 3.